to all.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning. आज का जो टॉपिक है that is the plant cell suspension culture, means you can say it is a cell suspension culture or liquid culture. Starting में what is a plant tissue culture हमने define कर चुका है. It's a collection. This is the last topic of your first unit. The plant tissue culture we have already done. It is defined as a collection of experimental method of growing the plant cells, tissues, and organ in artificial prepared nutrient media, static or maybe liquid under the aseptic conditions. So this process is known as the micropropagation. It is the plant tissue culture. This term it has been introduced by the G. Haberland. Then what is cell suspension culture? It is used for the basically for the production of the fine chemicals. The tissue and the cells, they can be cultured in the liquid nutrient media, producing a suspension of single cell or a cell clump. It is the primary route for studying the various plant secondary metabolism system of the plant. The cell suspension culture, it requires optimization of the cell line. Means the cell line means the cell which is obtained from any plants, the cultivation media and the bioreactor system. Because the use of these cell suspension culture, it is basically for the production of the secondary metabolite. And the production of the secondary metabolite, here we have to need the basically the optimization of a particular cell line which has been used for the production of secondary metabolite, particularly secondary metabolite. And the cultivation media means the media which can be used for the cultivation of particularly these cell line for the production of particularly designed a defined product. From a same reactant we can get in the product also. And the bioreactor system, as you are reading there are bioreactors are those from where we can cultivate these plants and the animal cells for the extraction of these metabolites. Here, firstly, you have to grow the any plant into a media containing a cytokine and auxin concentration in a defined form, and then there is a formation of the callus tissue. Callus can be formed when media it contain a higher concentration of 2,4-D. Then this callus culture, it has been transferred from solid media to the liquid media. When it has been transferred into the liquid media, the growth of this and the proliferation of the callus it has been increased. First step is the formation of the callus by any explant from any tissue, that is meristematic tissue, maybe the shoot tip, maybe the root, maybe cotyledon, maybe hypocotyle, it may be any of the explant, and is the process of formation of this callus known as chromogenesis. The callus tissue then transfer into the liquid media. This liquid media, it also contains all the nutrients which is required for the growth of this particular callus, except क्या होगा इसमें, that is devotion, that is it contain the it doesn't contain any agar-agar, because agar-agar it is used for the solidification of the media. So devoid of agar-agar, all the nutrients which are present in the liquid media. Then these callus, it has been callus, it can be compact and the callus may be fragile. Callus two form exists, that is a fragile callus, and second one is a compact callus. The fragile callus is which one? Which can easily be dissociated into a tissues and then into the cell. Then these liquid media it can transfer into the shaker. From the shaker we can get a cell suspension. When we are getting the cell suspension, because these callus it can dissociate into a tissues, small tissues, and then into the cells. This cell suspension culture which is in the media, it is then filtrations. We adopt the portion of filtrations. Then these cells they can transfer resuspend into the another nutrient media, liquid media. These filtered जो ऊपर आ जाएंगे ना cells, ये media तो नीचे निकल जाएगा. The suspended cells जो आपकी इस filtration process में आती हैं, you can resuspend these into the freshly prepared media. Then you centrifuge it. This process, it is the purification of this. You can say it can purify the cells, suspension cells. These cells, they can then centrifuge करेंगे, they can be settled down, और इस तरह से आपको क्या मिल जाएगा, suspension मिल जाएगा. You can count these cells into the hemocytometer. Hemocytometer, it is used for the checking of the concentration of the cell in a particular media. 1 ml में आपके पास कितने amounts of plant cells present हैं, तो यहाँ से आप count कर लोगे. Then again into the, ये तो क्या है, शेकर्स पे रखा है ताकि प्रॉपरली क्या रहे. शेकिंग जब आप करते हैं, शेकिंग का मीन्स ये रहता है कि when it is in the solid media, there is no requirement of a particular aerations, but when these cell suspension is there, you have to put into the shaker. Shaker पे क्या रहेगा, the cells, they cannot be associated with each other, there is a disaggregation of the cells. Then these cells, they are, ये तो प्लेटिंग दिखा रखी है कि this much, यहाँ पे क्या है कि प्लेटिंग मीन्स यू हैव टू सस्पेंड द सेल इनटू द मीडिया, सॉलिड मीडिया, और ये क्या आ जाएंगे आपके सिंगल सेल्स और सेल एग्रीगेट्स. दे कैन बी फॉर्म्स एंड फ्रॉम दीस सेल्स देयर इज a regeneration of the embryo. And embryo, it is a bipolar structure and it can regenerate into the whole plant shoots as well as the root. This is the whole process how these suspension cells, they can be recultured into the liquid media, callus to the plant cells. Then there are two types of the cell suspension culture. First one is a batch culture and second one is a continuous culture. दोनों culture के अलग advantage है, disadvantage है. First one is the batch culture. Batch culture means you are agitating the media without changing the media into the separate flask. आप क्या करते हो, batch culture. Batch means एक particular आप क्या लेते हो, cell suspension है एक उसमें flask में, और आप क्या करते हो, cells में आपके पास cell suspension है, आपका issues जो है, the culture are maintained continuously by subculturing. Here is a process of only subculturing. You can transfer into the another fresher media, but it is in the batch mode में रहेगा. It is maintained in the conical flask, incubated on the orbital shaker with a speed of 80 to 120 rpm. It is a closed system, means after the completion of a one batch, you can transfer the whole of the culture into the fresh media. It means it is a closed system. There is no additions and removal of nutrients during the process of this culturing in a simple single mode. There is no additions and removal of the nutrients and waste product during the period of incubations. It has been accumulated into the batch culture. This is a growth cycle on the batch culture. जो आपने microorganisms की culture में होता है, same it is in the lag phase, exponential, linear, and then comes to the stationary, and then last is the death phase. This is the growth phase of the batch culture. Then slow rotating culture. Slow rotating culture means in this culture, single cells and cell aggregate, they are grown in a specially designed flask. This is known as a nipple flask. आगे diagram आएगा इसका. In this single cells and the cell aggregate, they are grown in a specially designed flask which is known as a nipple flask. And each nipple flask possesses 8 nipple-like projections having a capacity of 250 ml. They are loaded in a circular manner on a large flat disc or vertical shaker. When the flat disc rotates at a speed of 1 to 2 rpm of the cells, with each nipple of the flask are alternatively bathed in the culture medium and exposed to the air. यहाँ पे आएगा इसका diagram. This is the diagram of this slow rotating culture. Slow rotating culture, ये क्या है इसमें, ये इसकी nipples है, nipple containing the explant. It is rotating continuously. It means when it will immerse into the media and then expose into the air. Air means it is in the enclosed system. It is a closed system है ये. ऐसा नहीं है. Air means यहाँ पे आपके पास जो flask है, it is inbuilt with the cotton plug. There is a cotton plug has been on the neck of the flask. Cotton plug है, लेकिन ये side by side इस तरह से rotate करती है. Large disc rotated on 1 to 2 revolutions per minute. इस तरह से जो है ये रोटेट करेंगे. इसका दिखा रखा थोड़ा सा डायग्राम. Then comes to the shaker culture. ये तो था आपका निपल में, और ये है शेकर में. शेकर में क्या आप शेकर पे रख देते हो. It is a very effective and very common method. Single cells and the cell aggregate, they are fixed in a volume of liquid media are placed in a conical flask. This is in a conical flask. आप इसको क्या रख देते हो, horizontal position में रख देते हो. And the scale ये इस तरह से क्या करती है, इसके जो है शेकर में कैसे शेक करता है आप लोगों ने देख ही रखा है शेकर को. Then comes to the stirred culture. This system it is used for the large scale batch culture. स्टायर में क्या रहेगा, आप उसको स्टायरिंग करते हो. मैग्नेटिक स्टायर जो हम यूज करते हैं, इंटरनल मैग्नेटिक स्टायर हम यूज कर लेते हैं, मैग्नेटिक स्टायर पे इसको रख देते हैं. इससे क्या रहता है कि वो जो है सस्पेंशन जो है वो उसमें मिक्सअप प्रॉपरली हो जाता है. ये एग्जांपल है सारे के सारे किसके, दैट इज ऑफ बैच कल्चर. इस तरह से रहता है. यहाँ मैग्नेट रख देते हैं, यहाँ पे फ्लास्क है आपकी और ये जो है रोटेट करता रहता है इसमें. Then comes to the, ये तो थे बैच कल्चर. Then comes to the continuous culture. Continuous culture में क्या करते हैं, mold culture media is replaced continuously by the fresh liquid media. It means you are removing the used liquid media and add some fresh media. ये क्या करेगा, it will stabilize the physiological state of the growing cell. It means the cells they can get in the nutrients continuously. Depletions नहीं होगा किसी भी nutrients का, वो किस में रहेगा, बैच में रहेगा. So in this system the nutrient depletion doesn't occur due to the continuous flow of the nutrients and cell always remain in the steady growth phase. So it can divide into the again the two types. First one is the closed type. The used medium is replaced with the fresh medium. The cell from the used medium they are mechanically retrieved and added back to the cell. It means in the closed type continuous culture है, but it is a closed type. It means you are taking the media. When you are taking the media, used media, along with the media, the cells which are you are culturing into the media, they are also come out along with the media. You can add that particular cells which are extracting out from the culture back into the media along with the fresh media. It will, you are continuously increasing the biomass of the cells. Means the biomass of the cells is keep on increasing. Second one is the open system. In this system, both the cells and the used media are replaced with the fresh media, thus maintaining the culture at constant and sub-maximal. In the open system, both the cells and the used media are replaced with the fresh media. We are not adding the cell. हम सेल को दोबारा से ऐड नहीं करते हैं इसमें. तो देयर इज ए मेंटेनिंग कल्चर एट ए कांस्टेंट एंड सब मैक्सिमम ग्रोथ रेट. इट मींस जितनी भी सेल्स होंगी सारे के सारे उनकी जो ग्रोथ रेट है वो एक ही स्टेज पे मिलेगी. क्लोज सिस्टम में ऐसा नहीं रहेगा. क्लोज टाइप में क्या रहेगा कि जो हम सेल ऐड कर रहे हैं उनकी जो ग्रोथ है वो कांस्टेंट पोजीशन में नहीं रहेगी. तो ओपन सिस्टम जो होता है सेल सस्पेंशन कल्चर का, वी कैन डिवाइड इनटू टू कैटेगरी, दैट इज द कीमोस्टेट एंड टर्बोस्टेट. इन द कीमोस्टेट the culture vessels are usually cylindrical or circular in the shape and possesses inlet and outlet pore in variations and introductions and removal of the cells and the media. ये तो इसमें points होंगे ही. Such systems are maintaining a steady state formations. Steady state में क्या रहेगा, the density, the growth rate, the chemical compositions, metabolic activity of the cells they remains constant in the open system, not in the closed system. ये बात कर रहे हैं open system की. open system में जो है steady state रहती है. steady state क्या रहेगी, जो density है, the growth rate है, composition है, metabolic activity of the cell they remain constant. Then comes the turbidose state. Turbidose state में जो है turbidity it is held constant. Turbidity हम turbidity मीटर से हम चेक करते हैं turbidity. तो हम क्या करते हैं, स्पेक्ट्रोफोटोमीटर के थ्रू भी चेक कर लेते हैं क्या टर्बिडिटी की कितना कैलस में जो है इस कल्चर में कितना टर्बिड है ये. तो turbidose state it is a continuous culturing method where the turbidity of the culture is held constant by manipulating the rate at which media is feed. Means we are continuously feeding the media into the system. An automatic monitoring unit is connected also with these vessels. A automatic monitoring unit which check the density or flow, the pH which we are chosen, adjust करेगी media की flow की कि how much amount of the media it can flow and it can in and it can out. What are the importance of the suspension culture? Why we are using the suspension culture? Because it can significantly help in the cell physiology. अब कौन आ रहा है, खुशबू. Important क्या है, सर systems they are capable of contributing significant information about the cell physiology. When we are studying about the cell physiology, biochemistry, the metabolic event of any particular cells, then they can be easily study when the cell they can culture in a suspension media, in a liquid media. It is important to build up an understanding of an embryo, organs, formation starting from a single cell. Here we can easily understand the how the single cell it can be changing into an organs and into an embryo, because when we are culturing into the solid media, it is not possible. Here we are culturing from plantlet or embryo from a single cell. Mutagenic study means when we add some mutant into the media, they may be the chemical mutant, they may be mutations can it can be added by the chemicals and can by the radiations. When some mutagenic study has been facilitated, it can be easily studied in the liquid culture media. What are the advantages? हाँ मीनाक्षी, मैं कब तक आपने लेक्चर सुना बेटा मेरा? सोनिया, हेलो।
मैम जो ये आपका एडवांटेजेस आ गए थे शायद उसके।
हाँ पता नहीं कहाँ एकदम से ना नेटवर्क की प्रॉब्लम हो गई। ठीक है, नहीं बता रही ना। then comes to अब हो रही है स्क्रीन शेयर मेरे। Then what are the advantages of these plants as suspension culture? You can continuously adding the nutrients, so nutrients depletions is not there in the system. Then the system can be scaled. Scaled means you can, if you have to culture a large number of a cell, then the solid media it is not good. We are going for the cell suspension culture because this large scale production of the cell, when we are going for the bioreactor, then we have to going for the large scale production. These large scale production can be easily be done by these cell suspension culture, and the whole plant can be regenerated from a single plant cell. Means there is a no tissue, there is a no organs. We are getting a whole plant from a single cell. Then what are the disadvantages of this system? The productivity of the suspension culture decreases over extended subculture period. This is a major drawback. ये तो drawback रहता ही है. When we are culturing for a solid media, then again there is a deformation of these. Yeah, there is a degeneration of the system. The productivity of the suspension culture will be decreased over the subculturing. Then slow growth and low productivity of the plant cells. Then cells they may be get damaged by the shear conditions. Shear conditions means when we are putting the culture onto the shaker and we are using the magnetic sterile, then there is a conditions of sharing and it will damage the cells. दूसरा मैंने आपको ये मैं आपको सेंड करूंगी, ये आपका NPTEL का है।